Hey, today I'm here because I keep getting a pull to talk about my something in me keeps pulling me to talk about this 30-year career that I had. And I'm not talking about it because I don't even know why I have to explain this, but um okay, I'm back. I had to walk away and get me a tissue to wipe my hands. Um, but I'm explaining this because I and I don't want anybody to feel sad for me. I feel like I have to say that because I do want people to understand. I do. I have a big thing about wanting people to understand, but I just hope that somebody can change their, I don't know if that's better or not, but make different decisions, better decisions about staying in a career for 30 years when there's so much life to live. So I have a few questions here that I want to answer. Um, and it's not because I'm getting asked them, but I'm having com- I'm feeling compelled to um to talk about it. So, um the first question is, what kind of tired did I live with for all of those decades, um, that I now realize was never normal? And for years, um, always had, and even I always had. Uh, I wrote here a low grade burnout. And so I guess it was low grade burnout, but it would build over the years, to the point that I would eventually, let me plug this up too while I'm talking, to the point where I eventually um, took a sabbatical in 23, 2023, month. And you maybe heard me talk about that before, where I took a sabbatical for a month, um, thinking I was trying to shift into what I was going to do when I retired. And instead of me being able to do that, I took a sabbatical for a month or some time off with my leave and where I got paid for it and stuff, or with my vacation time. Um, I don't want to give away too much, um, but I took the time off and I was going to take off 3 months, and I was in the bed for the whole month, literally unable to move. So let me be clear: it was a job, but it was also my hormones. And at the time, I didn't realize it. I was, early 50s. And I just, there just wasn't much talk about hormones. So, probably, if I'm being honest, a lot of this was exacerbated by the fact that my hormones, all of us after the age of 35, hormones will decline. But some people, like I've heard people say, and I don't know if they're gaslighting me. Let me know if this is your experience. If you've had the experience of not feeling any impact of having your hormones decline. Say you're 70 or older, and you just have never experienced any effects from having your hormones decline. Let me know if that's your experience, because I've heard people say that they've not had a single incident from having low hormones, and they also know someone who've never had a single incident. So, but for me, yeah, Um, I would say, and I'll tell you, here's how I know that the hormones affected it all. Is that I don't know how this got into a devolved into a conversation about hormones. It's because hormones affect so much of our lives. It just affected so much of my life, and I didn't realize it until I started becoming aware. And you will be surprised how low the percentages of women who are actually taking hormone replacement therapy or who are taking hormones, who are replacing their hormones. It is a therapy. So, um, these, these shouldn't be tight, but, um, so I started taking the hormone replacement therapy, and that's how I knew, um, because I started feeling better. I started feeling like myself. Um, I have a girlfriend who has said to me before, you always seem so upbeat. And that was me over the years trying to talk myself into being, you know, somebody who had energy and somebody who was present and all that stuff. She said that before I started taking hormones. But now I don't find myself having to talk myself, if I'm having if I don't feel all that amazing that day, I am okay with it. But I'm never, ever at a low that is so low that I just cannot get out of the bed for days. That just doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so back to this career thing. So, um, I felt a low grade burnout. Um, that just escalated over the years where I just it, it just was just bad. Um, what parts of myself did I slowly silence um, because they weren't rewarded um, in that career? And I'll tell you the one that comes to mind first is um, these may be subtle ones, but the thing that comes to mind is risk taking. Um, I just got so risk averse. Um, I was a bit risky. I would say I'm not really risky with my investments. Call it what you want. Call it what I don't know how to make sense of that. But I wasn't really risky with my investments, and I'm glad about that. But taking risks with myself to push myself to be. I mean, I would try, but I just couldn't. I just always had this bubble around me that where I just constantly felt trapped. Um, so I just didn't take the risk to, I just couldn't, I felt like I was risk averse. Um, but I just didn't have I would try, I tried to leave many times. Um, I tried to leave many times, but not because I was always distracted. I thought I was trying to leave a lot, but in reality, I think I was only applying maybe a few times a year to other positions. I'd apply internally, I'd apply um, outside of the organization, and things just weren't turning. But I I knew I was, and that's probably part of the problem, is I knew I was competent. I knew I was a, a good employee. Um, so I just didn't quite understand why things didn't connect um, on the outside, and I didn't understand why I mean, I can't imagine why things didn't connect well for me and on the inside. Um, but I knew I was a good employee. I was amongst the um, higher paid employees. So it's like on the one hand, you are rewarding me in salary, but on the other hand, you are refusing to acknowledge um, my contribution, the greatness that I brought to the space, to the environment, to the project. Um, that was very, very, very frustrating. Um, how did staying somewhere for that long change my relationship with urgency? Um, Now I'm in a place since I've retired. It's, it's like my favorite thing to talk about. But since I've retired, I feel like I gotta catch up. I feel like there's things that I need to quickly get done. I feel like since I'm doing my hormone replacement therapy, I'm working out more, not as much as I should. That's a whole nother story. I I got to get myself on a better schedule with that. Well, I had that. Remember we talked about I had a injury that set me down for at least 6 weeks, and I'm still recovering from that. But the recovery doesn't, and the recovery doesn't at this point doesn't get in the way of me working out. Um, I'd say to the degree that I work out, I'm not. Let's see. Is this muscle or is this just what everybody has when they do this? So I'm not super muscular. It's just that so the degree of the injury doesn't get in the way of how I actually lift weights. I mean, I lift somewhat heavy for myself in this moment. But that fluctuates depending on how often I'm going to the gym. So anyway, a workout tangent there. Um, so yeah, I feel like I got to catch up. I feel like I spend so much of my days now, and I don't know. I know I need to temper it, but right now I'm just spending so much of my energy doing things that make me feel like I got to catch up. Like I put myself on this challenge of doing lots of videos, um, but it's because I want to push myself. Um, You know, it's not easy. You've seen some of these diary videos that I've done where I'm like, my God, what in the world, did I sign up for? But I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it because I want to push myself to be a better version of myself, and I want to do it quickly. But hopefully, I'll temper that soon because I know that can't be sustainable. Well, I know I need to get in a rhythm of doing it. Not that I don't think it's sustainable. Not that I don't think that my goal is sustainable. I need to get in a rhythm of doing it. And that's going to come. That's going to come. Um, so let's see. I have some more here. Yeah. So the part that I want to add to that is, yeah, I feel like if I don't do things quickly, very quickly now, and get all of these things done, then I feel like I'll have regrets. And I'm not normally a person who has regrets. And I do wonder if the fact that I am not a regretful person comes from the years of being just, you know, just like being a zombie, just getting through life, getting through working, really getting through working, like some kind of zombie. And, you know, what's coming up for me now is I feel bad for my personal life because I just wasn't as present as and I probably made a lot of some poor choices romantically because I was just numb. Um, and that sucks. So don't be numb. Um, so what did those years of working take from me? Um, what does it say here? What did those decades quietly take from me that I didn't realize was gone until I slowed down? Uh, Part of me does people pleasing. Um, and here's how it shows up for me. I find myself jumping to do things. Like if I see anything, especially if I'm in somebody else's space and I'm there, I guess I have to be in somebody else's space if I'm there. But especially in someone's space and I'm in that space, I find myself like if something needs to be done, I'm like, okay, let me do it. Let me make it really nice. Let me make it nice for them. Let me make myself um acceptable. Um, Let me make myself be someone that they will not get annoyed with and fire me. What? What is that? I hate that for myself. But that's so. Um, it's a big thing of what I do, and I I don't like that. Something else I have here is that my ability to feel hopeful. That I feel like that was taken away from me. Um, there was just always so much resistance in the environment for growth. I don't know what that is. I don't know how you have a company, and you don't want your people to grow, but there was so much resistance to that, um, and so that built up tension inside of me, and I just really felt like I was always at the edge of my skin, like I lived inside of my body, but at the edge of my skin, rather than feeling settled inside of my body. Um, and I did that for years, and I hope I can um, undo some of that now. Um, I'd say that it's probably ramping down some. I'd say that it's ramping down some, but because I'm just hitting retirement now, I'm having some emotions and maybe even some grief around the loss, as strange as that is. So I guess expect that if you're not already retiring, expect that if you are at a place and you don't love it, and I don't wish that for you. But if you are, even when you leave, you may have some grief. Don't have the words for that right now, but that's what I'm feeling. Um, and so I think I just got a couple more here. Um, or maybe that's it. Maybe I'll leave the rest of these for another time if I still feel like there's more that needs to be shared. Like there's something in this that can help someone else, help another woman who's in this season, then if you say so in the comments, or if I get a feel compelled again to talk about it, then I'm happy to do so. And I'm mostly happy to do it if it's going to help somebody. So um, if it's going to help you. So that's all I have for now. Like I said, don't feel sorry for me. Look at it. Take notes. Um, adjust your own lives where you can, so that you don't get 30 years into a career. And I don't even know if those careers still exist. I'm a little bit out of touch. But I would tell anybody, don't stay at a job more than 5 years. Get in, get the money, get the experience, and then on to the next thing. Um, don't stay nowhere for 30 years. It's just, it's not natural. Yeah, I don't think it's, I would say it's not natural. All right, well, take care of yourselves. Let that be your priority. And I wouldn't say um, with the opposing thought of trying to hurt someone else, but nevertheless, um, let taking care of yourselves be your priority. Give yourself permission to do that. All right. We'll see you next time.